So let's get the podcast started. We're going to do introductions, starting with yourself. Name, age, and where you're from.
My name is Venus. I am 37, and I am from New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay, Venus.
30 heaven.
What do you do for a living, Venus?
I own my own transportation company.
Transportation. Nice. And what type of transportation? Like, are you moving food or what?
No, it's students with minor disabilities.
Okay. So like nice. Good for you. How long you been doing that for?
It's been about 9 years now.
9 years. Okay. Nice. And relationship status?
Single.
Okay. How old are you?
37.
37, that's right. I forgot. So 37, single, own transportation business. That's a fun fact about yourself. Could be anything.
Caught me off guard.
Fun
fact. I don't know. Outgoing. I'd like to dance. I
You
don't
like to
know.
dance?
But yeah.
Okay, I guess that's a fun fact.
Have fun.
You like to
I don't know.
dance? Okay. Good enough. Moving right along. Name, age, and where you from?
Me, Vicky. I am 34. I'm from the Lehigh Valley, from Allentown. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. 34, Lehigh Valley. What do you do for a living?
I work in distribution.
Distribution.
Yeah, I clock in, I clock out. I love it.
5 things, clock out. Easy 9 to 5.
Yep.
I feel you. And relationship status.
So my relationship status is legally married but separated.
Legally married but separated.
Yes.
Okay, you got his last name?
It was my last name. We have the same last name, so yes and no.
You got the same last name.
Yeah, we're not cousins.
Rodriguez. Dang, how did I know?
We're not cousins.
You know, Spanish people
We're
either
from different
Rodriguez, Velez, what is it? Hernandez,
all those
Gonzalez,
Lopez,
Ruiz. That's funny. So how long? Well, so you said you're legally married,
correct?
But you're separated. How long have you been separated for?
Maybe really. In my mind, in my heart, in my body, my spirit, my soul, it's been a while. It's been probably like 6 months since like December.
6 months?
January, yeah.
Okay.
But physically, where it was like, you know what? You gotta go out of my space. 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Oh, two.
So it's new
okay.
for you.
It's really not new though.
It's really new, honey.
And
I know.
It's not new, and I wanted to touch on that.
Okay,
Because it's not new. But you had we had a conversation.
So all right, so y'all was living together.
Correct.
2 weeks ago.
Yes.
But now you're not living together.
No.
So he was hitting it 2 weeks ago.
No.
Okay.
No.
He wasn't. All right. Moving right along.
Thank you.
Name, age, and where you from?
My name is Deasia. I'm 25, and I'm from Jersey.
25 Jersey. Deasia, you can sit back and just move that this way if you want.
Made me nervous.
I'll help you out. That's perfect. So you're 25. Deasia, what do you do for a living?
I work for the state. I can't say exactly what I do.
Okay. So should I be nervous?
No, you shouldn't be nervous.
I work for the state. I can't say exactly. Something with inspection?
Yes, yeah.
Inspection. I figured that. You Inspector Gadget over here. Okay. All right. Relationship status.
I'm single.
Single. How long you been single for?
Maybe 8 months.
Almost a year.
Almost a year, right? It's been a minute.
Look like best friend, no?
I'm doing a damn thing. I've been single for like a year.
Isn't it good? Isn't it good? It's been the best 2 weeks of my life.
Great. Keep up the good work.
So you've been single for a year, almost a year.
Yes.
Okay. Name one thing he did wrong in a relationship and one thing you did wrong in a relationship.
Damn. Oh, we straight to it. Okay. One thing he did wrong. Well, that's a good question. One thing I did wrong. I'll start with me.
Ooh, she's
One
taking
thing I
accountability
did wrong-
first. Okay, let's see.
One thing I did wrong. I was just like my mom.
That ain't accountability. What is that?
But explain why.
She's gonna take some real.
I was yelling at this man. I was nagging. I was doing the most, and I was like, "Damn, that was so rude." Cause
Yelling, nagging.
I don't like when people do that to me.
Okay.
And one thing he did wrong, he just wasn't matured. I know that wasn't his fault, but it was just it is what it is. He just
It is
wasn't-
I like
what it
that.
is.
I
Okay.
respect it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And that was the stuff that you did wrong. What did he do wrong? One thing.
he just wasn't matured.
Oh, he wasn't matured. Okay, that's what you said. Okay. We'll get to that.
I won't say that was wrong, but I mean, okay. So let me change
Who
that.
broke up with who?
It was me. I had to break up.
Okay, you broke up with him. So by mature, you mean that he wasn't able to lead the relationship?
Not necessarily. I think he's able to lead a relationship. I just think it was in the wrong way. I was going for street dudes, and that was the problem because he's in the streets, and that's not what I want at
I mean,
25 years old.
That if he's in the streets, obviously he can't lead you. Why would you want a man that's in a, what kind of street guy lead you to besides in the streets?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that means he couldn't lead.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
He wasn't mature. That makes sense. Moving right along. Name, age, and where you from?
I live in Jersey, and I'm 33.
33, live in New Jersey.
Yes.
And actually, I'm going to hold that real quick. Vicky, fun fact about yourself.
Fun fact about me,
Yeah.
I have 6 pets.
Oh, wow.
Cats?
4
Rats?
dogs and 2 cats.
Yeah, that's
Or-
like having kids.
It is a lot.
For real.
I feel
Wow.
people find that interesting. I'm intrigued by myself. Like, how do I do this every day?
No wonder why when you came in, my allergies started kicking in.
Always, yo.
No, I'm joking. Deasia, fun fact about yourself.
Is there a cat here on me?
Fun fact.
I'm a lifeguard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
kind of how to
swim. I'm
swim.
gonna need you. I'm gonna be in the pool girl like Siri, call Deasia.
I got you, sis. I
She
got
can
you.
swim, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
Going on, just name, age, and where you from again?
Okay, I'm Anae. I'm 33, and I live in Jersey.
Anae, 33, live in Jersey. What do you do for a living?
I am a cosmetologist. I'm a hair and makeup artist.
Ooh.
Nice. Good for you. And relationship status?
I am single.
Single. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. How long you been single for?
2 years.
2 years.
2.5 years now.
And you adding on more. 2.5. Was it 3? Are we going for 3?
No.
No. Okay. Cool. Moving right along. Name, age, and where you from?
Fun fact.
Oh, fun fact. Yes. Thank you.
I am a creative.
Creative.
Yeah, like I just create a lot of things.
Like what? Name something.
Let's say on hair, because I do hair, I color, so I'm really creative with that. I'm
Body scrubs. Body scrubs.
Yeah, body oils and butters and hair products and hair regrowth serums and
Wow.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
yeah. Thank you.
Moving right along. Name, age, and where you from?
My name is Kimberly. I go by Kim. I am 29, and I'm from Harlem, baby.
Yes.
You from Harlem. Okay.
Harlem Shake.
Yeah, you got it. She had to give us a shake.
And what do you do for a living?
I work in the banking.
You work in banking.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. And relationship status?
It's, you know,
What is that? What is
What is that?
Dating.
you know.
Cause what that mean?
You're
What's this?
smitten. Look at her.
You moving
She's
your
pretty
shoulders
glowing.
like you diddy bopping over
I'm
here.
pretty popping because I'm happy. Like,
Okay.
Oh.
So is he claiming you or are you claiming him?
you know, both.
So he
He
claiming
claiming
you.
her.
He claiming her?
Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah,
Okay.
he is.
All right, all right. How long,
like on his back?
Okay.
how long y'all been how long y'all been dating for?
I don't know. Like, I would say like May. It's pretty new.
Okay. Pretty new. How you said how many weeks? Months?
May.
Oh, since May. Okay, so that's okay. What? 3 months? 4 months?
4 months.
Yeah, it's pretty new.
Okay.
Better claim me.
Not bad. And what? How long? When was your last relationship before that?
I was single for 4 years before that.
4 years before that. And wait, how old did you say you were?
I'm 29.
29. Okay, cool. Moving right along. Welcome back.
Hi.
How are you? I mean, the supporters know who you are, but
Yeah.
name, age, and where you from?
Azaria, 33, and I'm from Reading.
33, Reading. Okay. What do you do for a living?
I'm a jack of all trades. But no, currently I just got promoted about like a month ago. So now I run 12 orthodontic offices in the Philly and New Jersey area.
Wow.
Nice. That's good.
I'm also, I just entertain, I guess. So I do hair, makeup as well. My model sometimes.
You model sometimes?
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Relationship status?
I'm separated, but I'm super single, okay?
Heard you, sis. Yes,
Super.
it's only been 2 weeks.
Like
but
Super single.
heard you.
Okay. Fair
Heard you.
enough, I guess.
Don't play.
Yeah, moving right along. Actually, we'll do something new. Everyone watched the podcast, right? Mm-hmm. Watch the podcast. So
How old are you? Do you mind me asking?
Right.
Yeah, I'm 34.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone watch the podcast. We're going to do, out of all the clips y'all seen, what was the most triggering thing, or what triggered you the most on the podcast? So
All of it. No, I'm just kidding.
it's two questions in one. Name something that triggered you when you were watching the podcast, and then you can mention something maybe that you disagree with. So if you've seen some of the clips or watched the full podcast and you have something that you fully disagree with something I said, or just maybe how I do things, you can bring that up and we can address it now on the podcast. And who wants to go first? Vicky.
Okay, so
So wait, you gonna do the triggering or the disagreement?
it's a little triggering.
Okay.
And it really wasn't anything to disagree with. It was more in like, I looked a little deeper into what you were saying. So there was a clip, and it was a young lady saying, why can't I be the auntie that takes trips? Why can't I live my best life? And you're like, that will never be your best life. But that wasn't what triggered me. What triggered me was, oh yeah, you could have been on that yacht. Oh yeah, you could have had that Gucci bag. Oh yeah, you could have slept with that dude. Why are we seen as our best life is partying, spending money, and sleeping with men? Why can't it be focusing on our career?
Facts.
Getting our loving ourselves.
Right.
Why does our best life have to consist of sex, money, and party? Why does that have to be it?
So the clip, that's what she mentioned.
You mentioned it.
Yeah, but I just
You said
repeated
it.
what she said. So before, it's
So
a
that
short
was her
clip.
state of mind then.
Her state of mind was that, why can't I just be one of those old aunties that grow up and be old, and I'm out sipping a martini and I'm taking vacations and I'm in a club with my friends and I'm doing this. You know, she named a bunch of things that she'll be doing when she's older. So the clip was just me stating like, well, you know, you doing all of these things is fine for you, but that's not leaving any legacy. That's not leaving any true memories to your family and your loved ones and stuff like that.
Why does it make a woman valuable just because she got wifed up? Why can I not just be single for forever? Why
Bro,
can
you
I not
could.
just
You
live
could.
my best life
could.
for
You could.
forever? Why can I
But that
not
would
be
never
like
be your best
the
life.
50-year-old auntie
Yeah, it
who's
won't be your
taking
best life.
trips?
Yeah, it sounds good on paper for you to think that way. Women derive their true happiness from children in a family and having a strong
saying.
masculine male by their side. Men, we're different. We get our happiness from kids and leaving a legacy behind, but also we get our true happiness from being on our purpose, creating. Women create children, men create things. Everything that you're seeing, touching, has all been created by men. Every person in this world has all been created by women. Make sense? So a man that's not creating anything is a man without purpose. Then he will experience depression, anxiety. He wouldn't have no direction in his life because he's not on his purpose. He's not creating. You get what I'm saying? So when you're 45 years old, been living your single life all these years, well, what did you create? What was your purpose? Yeah, you got a Gucci bag. Yeah, you slept with this nigga. You've been on that boat. You've been in that yacht. But you created nothing. You waited so long. All your eggs is gone. You can't have babies. So now you feel just like that dude that didn't create any resources, didn't create anything. So all human beings, men have a natural proclivity. It's in us to provide and protect and to create things. Women have a natural proclivity that's in them to nurture and create human beings, to create the next generation.
You got it.
Yeah.
So the part that triggered me
Sure.
was the men in the comments. I got beef with y'all, men in the comments.
What do you like? How did that trigger you?
There was men basically saying that women, if you don't have children, if you don't have a man, you're lacking substance. And I was like, what? So like, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna get personal, right? I'm gonna talk about myself.
Vicky, just turn your mic this way.
Like this?
Yeah. So
okay. So me
That's
personally,
Just like to your mouth. Yeah, right there.
I was raised in a religious household, right? Like a Christian household. This is not in any way me bashing people with the belief. I was conditioned to think that my value was in having a man and having a family. That was pushed, drilled into me, right? So I felt like that's what I needed to do. At 18, I was like 17, got with my daughter's father. I felt like he was legitimizing me, giving me value. And I had my kid, really young. In all reality, fun fact about me, I don't know if you want to call it fun or not, but I'm bisexual. Okay. And I really prefer women, right? So I feel like because I got pushed to think that a man was going to legitimize me, I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong or whatever. And I made decisions that weren't really based on what I wanted. They were more based on what other people wanted for me. So that kind of, it bothers me because it's like we were conditioned. I feel like we're at a pivotal point, right? Women's rights. Like we just had movements, in the 70s and all that. Okay. It's new.
Yeah.
Like civil rights, it's new. So there are a lot of men, the baby boomers or even the millennials, who were raised to think that, like, oh, women are supposed to be homemakers and wives and moms.
Let me ask you a question, right? So you saying women aren't raised to be, women shouldn't be certain things. You pretty much saying women can be whatever they want to be.
Yes, they can. Yes,
that's totally fine. We all are individuals.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all individuals of free will. We have the choice to do and be whatever we want to be. Let me ask you a question, right? So a guy, right? What if I said to a guy, hey man, you got to go out there and, make something of yourself, be ambitious, be assertive, be dominant, and don't worry about too much following your passions, because the passions tend to put you in the wrong direction. But you should look for your purpose and follow your purpose and have a family and provide for that family, and then instill good traits in those kids so your kids can be good members of society. What if I said that to a guy? What would you say?
If that mattered to him, awesome.
But see, this is what I'm saying. You see you didn't have anything that triggered you when I said the basic things about men, right? So it's something innately within all of us to do. We all have a purpose, is what I'm saying. Right?
I think we have the purpose is to be good at something. Some men that's what they're going to be good at. Some are not going to be good at that. Like women. Not all women are going to be good mothers and be good wives.
Yeah, but generally speaking, I don't agree with what you just said. All women have the capability. All women have the capability to be good mothers and good wives. All men have the capability. Well, capability. They do have. Everyone has the capability to be good wives and a good husband, a good mother, a good father. We all are capable of that. I mean, people choose weird things. The environment, could play a part in their how they perceive the world, but they can still overcome
there is a fine line.
Let's get to the point of what you had contention with. So you said that you that triggered you, the part where I had the conversation with the girl. I did not said the claim that the girl mentioned those things, and that's why I mentioned it in it. But even if she didn't mention it, generally speaking, most women in 2023, they would prioritize going to the club, getting flown out, being on a yacht, just living their best life. They'll be like, kids, family, I'll do that when I'm in my 30s or 40s.
But there's not wrong with that either.
Well,
there's not wrong with that.
Well, it is something that's wrong with it. You don't think there's anything wrong with that? So this is what I'm saying, right? Hear me out. Cool. You said that there's nothing wrong with it, right? But there is something wrong with the guy not having any ambition and just being a bum living in his mom's basement. Clearly there's something wrong with that. So then clearly it must be something wrong with a woman just living a party life and not really having any traditional values, not really preserving her femininity.
You hit it. Well, again, the men in the comments is what triggered me. Oh, you don't want. Oh, you're gonna be lonely.
Do you have kids?
I do.
Yeah. So
they're all right.
This doesn't even apply. Like what I said does. So there's statistics that's actually running now, and it's studies being done, and it shows that in about 10 years, there's going to be a lot of single women with no kids. Putting their career before everything.
Good for them.
And they're going to be on a lot of anxiety and depression medications.
But why does the men's comment trigger you?
Because they're basically telling us we're not worth anything if we
But why
are
does
not.
that even matter if you know who you are?
Because
as a mother
it's the
and as a person?
mindset of
Venus, just put your mic a little closer.
So there's a thing, right? So we all have opinions and we all have experiences, but there is a general consensus, and I think that's kind of where you like aim your like you. That's where you aim, right, for the general consensus.
Yeah,
it's scary
generally
to see.
women are happier with family and the children, with family and the kids. A man that they genuinely love, respect, and
Right.
admire.
I'm not gonna hold
and
you.
Kids.
I would
Correct.
I would love
Absolutely.
to have a good, leading, mature, supportive.
So
man.
look. So
I
think
would
about
love
that, right? So you're arguing for something that you don't even think is even capable, because
Right.
you just said that you would love to have a man that you genuinely love, admire, and respect, with some kids, with a nice house, white house with a picket fence and a little dog, or
I got four of them.
4 dogs and 2 cats. So even you're arguing for something that
She already
you
has
even
a
want yourself.
family.
So what
Right.
do you mean?
I do have a family, but not. And this is my children. If you ever see this, I love being your mother. I don't love being a mother. I don't find my happiness in that. I am, and I didn't know this about myself, I am a selfish person. I want to be able to just get up and go.
Got you. So Vicky, let's get on to other people, but
Yeah, let's
we'll
do that.
come back to the stuff that you said, and
Good stuff.
depending on the conversations we have, I'm sure I'll bring it more full circle. But thank you. Anything else? Let's.
No, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna
You
shut
good
up.
for- No, you good for it.
I'm good for
Anyone
that.
else? You saying anything that triggered you, or you was like, Cooley, I don't agree with this?
I think Venus.
Can I make a response to what she said?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
sure, go
just
ahead.
like a small response.
No, go ahead.
I just would like to say that a lot of people, they tend to look out and feel like they want other things without realizing that everything they need in life and everything that they want is right in front of them. They're just
Yeah.
not being grateful for what they already have.
Can I also say
Because
something?
religion brings you foundation, and that's what you need to build. Family brings you foundation. That's what you need to build. And you have all those things. And it's a lot of people in the world that wish they had those things
Oh,
that
I'm so
you
grateful.
have. And it just seems like
Correct.
I'm grateful,
You know.
but I'm not happy. There's a difference.
I feel like what
perspective
you're
stuff.
you're newly out of a relationship. You were probably
Yep.
dealing with turmoil for years. You seems like you just want to just go, and you don't have the opportunity to just go.
I wanted that in my relationship.
That's
though.
why you feel like you're just running away. You're not happy. So if you're not filling yourself up, you can't fill everybody else's cup around you.
Correct.
So right now, you in this stage that you're in is your healing stage, and take that time to heal.
Yep.
Maybe somebody else will be around that could be that man for you if you choose to want that. But that partner for life, no one wants to just be single forever. Or unless you do want that. There's
feel like-
happy people
I
who
feel
are
like it
single
takes a-
forever.
You have to take a level of like loss. I feel like I lost so much being with someone.
Yeah.
So now I guess that's trauma.
Now you're
right?
gaining that
So now I'm
back.
traumatized.
So
Yeah,
what's
go
the
ahead.
2 questions again? The trigger?
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. So what's the thing that most triggered you, and then something that you disagree with?
Okay. So what triggered me in the comments, like, so the first time I was ever on this podcast, I brought up that I was married.
Yeah.
And in the comments, which wasn't a lot, I think it was like 1 or 2 comments. I was like, oh, like she says everything good. She sounds like a wife, but she's not, like, my marriage didn't work. So it means like I'm not good enough, right? So let me just clarify something, because society, I think, has a lot of things screwed up. I was just like you. My family was very religious. So since I was young, especially in a Hispanic culture, we're taught to cook for your husband.
I was saying that you're
take
taught to
care
be
of
a
your
wife
husband.
early.
Right. Like, we're taught at like 12
start
to be
cooking
that
and
certain
cleaning.
way.
That's where your value was, knowing how to do that stuff.
I got pregnant really young, right? Because I wanted to be a wife. And I was wife at 21. So in my, right, when I'm young, I'm thinking, I hit a goal that all women want. And I was super happy. And I was like all for it. Okay. So I lived this happy marriage. But what I thought was good wasn't good. Okay. So like you mentioned earlier, we ignore red flags because we want to. And we settle because we think being married is the best thing. Which, hold on, let me just mention that I love being married. I love being a wife and I love being a mom. And I would do it again. But I was just married to the wrong guy.
How old was he?
We're the same age.
Okay.
So
See,
he's
and that
33
could be
too. So we've been together since we were 16 years old.
Getting married.
Yeah. And I
Right.
feel like you're not mature enough to even make those decisions. But because I grew up thinking you're supposed to be married and that's like the way of life and that's the goal, right? I was trying to hit those like milestones early.
I did it. I'm married. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I started to grow as a woman, right, and succeed and be successful in everything that I ever done, and he wasn't. And then I felt like I was being a mom at some point. You got to do this, and you got to do that, and come on. And I'm helping him. Let me help you finish school. Let me help you do this. Let me help you do that. And I love being that way because, like, that's my husband, right? Like, we ride or die. Whatever we do, we're going to do together. That was my thought process until I realized I was doing it all alone. And then it came to a point where, like, I was taking care of everything. And then I had to babysit. And then there was things I was involved in that I shouldn't have been involved in. And then it came, like, is my husband more important or my kids and my family, right? So, like, I chose me and I chose my kids. So people who hear... They don't know my story. They just assume, oh, she has a failed marriage. Something's wrong with her. She's not wifey material. Bitch, I'm a wife.
I feel y'all. Yeah, I mean, that's the good discourse. Thank you for, sharing that with her. I think that's good when women speak from a genuine perspective that they have and they can share with another woman. And maybe, y'all can relate a little bit. But at the end of the day, y'all chose them niggas to marry. So let's wheel this back in, get it more of a concise convo. Y'all telling sob stories. I feel for you. I know.
I don't know.
At some point, you're going to get better. But I also had to attack your fans because they be thinking they know everything.
It doesn't require strength.
You know what I mean?
I required strength to leave that. Not to get
Ladies, and once again, just a quick understanding. When you watch this back, like this part, just in the parts that everyone's talking at the same time, you can't hear you. You can't hear you. It just sounds like... It sounds like that.
I don't sound like that.
Well, no, I'm talking about when everyone is speaking at the same time, that's what it sounds like. So we really they not even going to know what you're saying or what anyone's saying. So just like remember when someone's speaking, just and then wait. And then I'm looking around. So I'm going to let y'all, get a chance to speak. But anyone else? I know anyone else seen a clip that was triggering or something on a podcast or a disagreement? What's your name again?
Ane. That's what I'm saying.
Ane. And I'm horrible with names. Sorry.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
Ooh, you ready for this?
Sure, go ahead.
I like that you asked this question, though.
Yes.
It's really good that you asked this question. That's awesome. When you ask ladies to rate themselves, Cooley.
Yeah, that's horrible,
I think
bro.
it's crazy.
You think it's crazy?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think.
Why?
But why?
Well, tell me, why do you think it's
I
crazy?
think
And I'll
it's-
explain my reason.
Childish, one.
Okay.
And it's like putting people, like, I don't even care about people putting themselves against. I just don't understand why. I don't think that's necessary to ask that question.
Rate yourself from 1 to 10 and then think of a celebrity that matches the rating that you give yourself.
I would rate myself an 8. I would say Big Lotto. I love Lotto.
I think I say like a 7.5, 8 around there.
Name a celebrity that would match you.
Lauren London, I say.
Lauren London.
I'm going to say I'm an 8, and the celebrity that would match me is Tiana Taylor. There we go.
Okay, Tiana Taylor.
Yeah.
So you're 8 and Tiana Taylor is an 8.
Just looks?
Yeah.
I'm going to say a 10. Rihanna, boy, what?
Okay.
I think Rihanna, I like Rihanna. She a 10 to me.
Okay, show of hands. Do you have in your DMs that you never replied to that looks halfway decent, but you're not giving them no time and attention?
4 hands better be up.
All 4 hands.
All.
Okay. Here's the truth. None of you ladies are a 10 or an 8 or anything close to that. The reality is a 5 is average. Because all you ladies are single. You do have good guys in your DM, but you choose not to reply to these guys because y'all all think y'all 8 and 10s. So I do it for a multitude of reasons. It's never planned. That's actually one of the questions that I don't even have written down in all the 200 questions I have. So normally, I think I asked it maybe 2 or 3 times. And normally it's when girls have a overflated sense of ego and they're boosting and boasting about themselves. So then I try to bring them to a reality.
I like that.
Just because
I like that.
You think you're a 9 and all the girls think they're 8s, 9s, and 10s. Well, how can y'all all be 8, 9s, and 10s, right? And then it's to make a conclusion and to have it make sense. The reason why they think they're 8, 9s, and 10s is because a lot of dudes is in their DMs and giving them attention, right? So, and not only that, I would do it with like say if I had men on the panel, I would do it with men too, but men, men, I wouldn't ask rate yourself from 1 to 10 off of your looks because we know that girls, a man's looks isn't the number one priority in a woman's eyes. It's a multitude of other factors. But in a man's eyes, priority A is looks. So that's why I asked that question as well, is because me as a man and other men,
I gotta say something about
we
that.
prioritize.
Well, we all
looks
got
first.
that, so we good.
This is true, but I got
Venus,
something to say about that.
Go ahead.
But like,
Thanks for answering.
Oh, you good?
right. So if a woman rates herself 1 to 10, and let's say she rates herself an 8 or a 9, right? And then you saying, but that's not the reality of it, right?
Yeah.
But like, who are you meant to say that? Because you don't know the story behind the woman, right? You don't know her trauma. You don't know what she got to get up there and makes her feel like an 8 or a 9, right?
Well, yeah. So that's the thing, right? So, feelings is one thing. Anyone can feel anything. I could feel like a king. I'm no king though. So I could feel some way, but what I feel isn't necessarily reality. So even though she feels like she's an 8 or a 9, the reality is that most women aren't 8 or 9s. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about it. 1 through 10, a 5 is average, right? A 6 is above average. A 4 is below average. A 7 is, you look very good. An 8 is you almost dang near you model status. A 9 is you're one number below perfect. A 10 is no one's a 10. So at all. So you gotta think about, a 10 is like someone that's perfect. So my scale, and I give them the scale. I tell them the scale beforehand, and they still rate themselves 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Can I say something?
Wait, it was go ahead.
Talk a lot. Go ahead. I'll wait.
I feel like the only reason why I wouldn't agree with rating people is because y'all rating people all on the same level. In reality, it's levels to this shit. So it's like, it could be a man and he could be a 9 on his level.
No.
Like I said, like I was messing with someone who necessarily we weren't aligned. We weren't looking for the same things in life. But if he met somebody who wanted to be in the streets and didn't mind that, he would be a 10 in their eyes, because he take care of he handle what he needs to handle.
Yeah, so like, just to answer the question again, and so y'all ladies can understand, the reason why rating is those clips go viral. Like, those clips go 2 million views, 3 million views.
It's that. There you go.
That's not it though. But no, I'm telling you why it goes like viral. The reason why it goes viral, and it's more men that's viewing it, is because men, we prioritize beauty. So for an example, right? When y'all look at, I'm not even gonna speak about women anymore. I'm speaking about y'all ladies and how y'all look at men, so then y'all could truly understand. When you look at a man, he could be very attractive. He could hop out a BMW with the doors go up on his BM. Who knows? It's something that look very nice. It's very sporty. But if his breath stink or he says the wrong thing, he's disqualified.
Right. Absolutely.
So, but guess what? If we see a girl and her breath stinks and she says the wrong thing, but she got a small waist and a fat booty, we're clapping it.
She might be
that's
dirty.
She just said that. We're gonna even give it a chance. Like, we're gonna be like, well, maybe her breath just stank that one day. Let me see if it don't stink
You're
the next
ignoring
day.
that you're not using your discernment.
Well, we still do that with y'all too. Some of y'all be breath be stank.
Rags. Ladies, one mic at a time, so y'all could understand. So listen to understand. So the reason why the rating is so important is because y'all just view things much differently than us. Like, we really care about looks. So when a woman is saying, like, these girls are saying that they're 8, 9s, and 10s, but like, we know all men know what 8, 9s, and 10s are. Beauty isn't in the eye of the beholder. Your mom lied to you. Your father lied to you. Your grandparents lied to you.
He didn't lie to me.
Well, it's a fact. Beauty isn't in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is scientifically proven that it's about symmetry.
Yes.
Right? So a symmetrical face is very beautiful. Not only that, men, we're innately attracted to the Coke figure, the Coke bottle figure, the small waist with wide hips. Once we see that, sometimes we don't even see the face. We'll be like, Oh, the hips
That's
and waist.
amazing.
We know.
I'm glad you said that. I'm
You get what
super
I'm
glad
saying?
you
So
said
it's
that.
like this. She's attractive already. It's much different than men. Like we truly prioritize. Men are visual creatures. Why do you think the porn industry and OnlyFans industry are the number one industries? Because men are the consumers of those industries. Niggas literally whack off 4 times a day to some random girls that they're looking at. It's weird,
Some women
but
whack
that's
off
what
4
men
times
do.
a day.
I mean,
Self-control.
that's what niggas do. But does that make sense a little bit now?
so happy you're just so honest sometimes.
Yeah, no, but
Right.
does that answer your question?
I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I
It
get
isn't
it.
to degrade women. It's to like let women know the male perspective of it. Like, well, niggas is really this raw.
It kind
with
of
it.
hurts though.
It's a little
Just to let
humbling.
You know, it's humbling, but it's
Yeah,
still,
because
it
because
still
he said
hurts.
he used it in a humbling way, like when females are coming out with their egos.
Yeah,
and he
I don't
uses
just
it
be like,
in a,
hey girls, let's rate yourselves 1 to 10.
'Cause that's weird.
You're not a 10. You're not I don't do that. That's weird.
Everybody gets a 5.
As long as it's not
Yeah,
weird.
Right.
I'll say this. This will maybe give you a deeper perspective into the psychology of women and men as well. So when you give someone something for free the first time, it creates appreciation. When you give someone something for free the second time, it creates anticipation. When you give someone something for free the third time, it creates expectation. Fourth time, it creates entitlement. When you give someone something the 5th time, it creates dependency. And you don't give it to them by the 6th time, it creates hatred and
Oh my God,
resentment.
yes.
And internally, they feel depressed and have anxiety. So let me tell you, ladies, something. Guess where all women are? Because women get attention for free from men. So women are in the entitlement field. That's why all women think that they're 8, 9s, and 10s, because they have this self-entitlement because niggas is in your DMs giving you a bunch of attention.
I need to say
Niggas, when you hop out the
That
car
don't
at a
move
gas
me.
station, niggas is trying to holler at you. When you in a mall, niggas is trying to holler at you. So you're in the, so you get attention from free from men. So you're in that entitlement stage of viewing like, oh, well, I'm entitled to this attention. So that's why you all think, well, not you ladies, but generally speaking, women tend to think that they're 8, 9s, and 10s, but it's just not true. Does that make sense?
Men
But
are
the
just
thing is, we
thirsty.
could use this appreciation, anticipation.
A guy would tell you look good just like they'll tell it too.
Yeah, facts.
Are y'all moved
Tell
by
it all.
that? Does
But-
that move you?
But what? Does that make sense?
Does it move? Does it move
makes
you
sense.
when
No,
you're at
it's
the
just-
gas station and a man's like,
Oh,
"Hey,
absolutely
girl."
not.
No, but
At
think
all.
about
When
it.
they're in your DMs.
ladies,
Does that
ladies.
move you?
You
I'm not
didn't,
moved
you
by that.
didn't
Some girls
comprehend
do,
what I
but
just said.
see, some girls
Oh, sorry,
do
one
really-
second, because
They
you
don't know
didn't.
better.
You didn't comprehend what I just said. The first time you get something for free, it's appreciation. So your first compliment you ever got was probably when you was 11 years old.
I
You was
always
getting
appreciate
developed, right?
compliments. Like, thank you, boo.
It was appreciated. The second time, the third time, like you're already in the entitlement stage. So when guys try to holler at you, you don't even care. You're already in the entitlement stage that I guess I know a bunch of you ladies have a bunch of unread inboxes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because you
Yeah,
got
that-
so
yeah,
much
yeah, yeah.
attention.
That
so
makes
it's
sense.
entitlement. It makes sense now, right?
Right.
Yeah, that
so,
makes sense.
Like, yeah, but all right, moving right along. Anyone else? I guess I have no more comments for that. But
I get it. No, you was right.
I mean,
and this is the psychology
you know what?
of
Going back
human
to
beings.
one of
But we
your
were just
clips.
oh, sorry.
I wouldn't say I'm entitled though. Like,
You
Yeah,
got
me
you got
neither,
unread
though.
DMs.
not right now, no.
You got
Read 'em
DMs
all?
that you didn't reply
She read
to.
'em all.
No.
So you replied to every DM.
Yep.
Get your phone out. She lying. She capping. That she.
I don't know.
You know. Dang, how you don't know?
I
Y'all
really
should
don't know. I don't
know.
be in her phone.
I have manners. I say thank you.
I agree.
When
Wait,
I
you
I'm not
just-
entitled. I
when
appreciate
I'm when I'm
When
running,
did you get out of a relationship? I can't remember
She
you.
said, did you say?
You've been
about
single for a year?
About a year.
8 months, she said, but thank you.
Okay.
you gotta realize too,
Outside.
because all right, so
wait, hold on.
what you're saying is correct. At the same time, though, sometimes when we're not responding, it's also because men are predators by nature. So you can say that's you can say we're entitled by nature, but you guys are predators by nature.
Ooh.
So when I'm running from somebody, it's because you're a creep and
you're expecting
You don't need to be talking to
you're
me.
expecting ass.
There's certain people that don't
because
even
you
need to be talking
responded.
to you.
Is your
And you
father
can't
a
res-
predator?
So even if I absolutely, most likely, I know.
My daddy was.
What do you constitute as a predator?
You're hunting. You're on the hunt.
Okay,
Doesn't matter what you're looking for, whether it's money, whether it's women, whatever it is, you're a predator, and that's what you guys are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Everything has
every man's a predator
to be that way.
But there's some men
Why
who
not?
are like
a predator's
that.
not bad. A man manipulates everything, and you could either with every word there's a good side and a bad side. So you could be a predator, but it could be for food, and you're bringing that food back home for your family. Or you could be a predator, you could be outside committing crimes and doing things just because you know you can.
A hunter and a predator.
Yeah,
I'm literally looking at the definition of predator.
Not anyways.
I mean, men are predators. I get what you're saying in a sense, like men hunters, you know, if men do most of the approaching, women don't really approach in the courting process. I get that part of it. So you're saying that, yeah, like the reason why we don't reply back to people because men are predators. You could say that, but if a dude with a blue check mark with millions of followers hops in your DM, or just someone that you just happen to be attracted to, you're most likely going to reply back to them.
If you're attracted,
what does that have to do with being a predator? Yeah, what if necessarily it's not always bad though?
So
at the end of the day, that's in your nature.
Yeah, it's not bad to the guys that you're attracted to. So this is what I'm saying, right? Women tend to, when you speak, well, most women, because I interviewed over 200 women by now, when women tend to speak, they assume attraction, right? You assume that the guy is attractive already, right? So when you're talking about predators, I get what you're saying. Most dudes that approach you or that hops in your DM, you're not attracted to them. So you get that vibe of like, why are you hitting me up? And you only get the vibe of, why are you hitting me up? Because you're entitled. You're entitled because you get a lot of people that hit you up. Guess what? If you got no one that hit you up, and even the ugly dude hit you up, guess what? It'd be appreciation you would feel. He wouldn't be looked at as a predator. That's what I'm saying. Like the only reason why you view that men are predators because you are in the entitlement phase because you get so much free attention.
I don't mean in a bad way though. I'm not saying that being a predator is bad. I'm just saying that being a predator is in a man's nature.
Is in a man's nature. I get what you're saying. I guess, you know, when
you're on the
literally the
hunt because you
definition of
need to be on
predator
the
is
hunt
just a negative term is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if you use the different term, then
an animal that naturally preys on others.
Like
and you need to do
a person
that.
who is ruthlessly and exploits others, a sexual predator.
Yeah.
That's like me posting.
Why y'all talking? Let me kill this cricket back here.
It's a predator. Cricket? Wait, can you get me some alcohol? The cricket. Can the cricket get me some alcohol?
He's so damn tall. It drives me crazy. Like he's so fucking tall.
I need to use the restroom.
So I know you had that question about the tens and stuff. You put in a point on that. Anyone else seen any clips or anything that you disagree with or you just like it triggered you? Anyone else?
I have something.
What you got?
It was it was one that you went viral for. I think her name was. It started with a D.
Oh, I remember this. With the girl.
Yeah, she was bugging out a little bit. She was like kind of.
I'm not good with names.
It started. You kicked
the one
her
that had
out.
to kick her out.
Oh, I kicked her off the podcast.
Yeah,
No, she's answering the question. Let her go.
Of course, I respect her, but
It was at this moment that she knew. She up.
Is it easier?
Ooh,
Okay, well, if you're not respecting me, you could get off the podcast.
ain't about getting off the podcast.
If you're not respecting me, you can see yourself out the door. You just said you will respect her. If you're not respecting me, this is my building that you in.
I respect both of y'all, but it's
okay,
just
so if you're not
understanding and
get out of
listening.
here. You out of here, yo. Gary, like, she out. She done. Bye.
I'm out for listening and understanding.
Peace. Disrespectful.
No problem. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm actually understanding. I'm trying to understand what y'all both trying to have.
All right, well, you could understand out the door. What triggered you about that?
I just feel like you were right with most of the stuff that you were saying, but I just feel like when you're speaking to women or anybody, sometimes you have to take a little bit of responsibility in order to help them understand what you're really trying to say. Like, you have to talk to them the way they understand what you're trying to
We
say.
just talked about this today. He was, though.
She just wasn't trying to tell.
She just wasn't getting it.
So you said about the girl kicking out is sometimes I have to say things in a palatable way. So I did it on this podcast just here. Like I went over the appreciation, anticipation, expectation, entitlement. You know what I mean? I went over a multitude of things to show when you give someone something for free, which women get attention for free because men give attention to women away for free, it creates entitlement. So I did that to explain the woman's psyche and to where the position of the mentality where most women are in today's age. You get what I'm saying? Because social media, think about it, like 50 years ago, you had to go outside to get like a compliment. Now all you ladies can literally be in your crib watching Netflix. You're going to post a little something on there and you getting a lot of compliments.
You don't even
feel
gotta
what I'm
really
saying?
look
You
like
don't even
that.
got to go outside. So social media, that's what it created. And it created more entitlement for just average looking women. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fantasy.
I mean,
Now,
guys,
you think
I was going to say it's everybody.
But
Not just
so
you go
let me-
outside
yeah,
and
so-
if I
Vicky,
walk
one
outside
second,
and
Men
there's
look
no
good. Girls are in your DMs, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Girls are what?
Oh, they'll
Girls are
post,
not in your DMs?
They'll post
just
money
like
that's not theirs.
Cooley.
No.
They'll be posting an outfit
let me-
that's their boys'
Yes,
clothes.
they are.
No. So let
Because
me
when
make
you
it
see a
concise.
good looking man, you're like, but you might say something.
Absolutely.
So I know men have girls in
Like
their
when you
DMs.
walked away, she said, "Oh, he's so tall." We laughed.
So-
Hold on. We laughed.
What's your name?
But it's true.
What's your name? Anae. So
It is true.
But it wasn't like, damn.
But it's true. They get
Deasia.
attention too.
Anae and
So don't
Deasia.
play.
Look at me real quick, eye contact, because it's happening right now. Remember, you just asked the question, and then your point of contention with that question that triggered you was you said that, well, you have to say things to women in a way where, they digest it and understand. I'm literally doing it now, but I'm just not listening. You feel what I'm saying? So it goes deeper than that, ladies. It goes deeper than that. So what I've learned from doing this podcast, which would then answer your question, right? So what I've learned from doing, and I'll say this and then I'll answer more deeper. What I've learned from doing this podcast is, because I have a daughter. She's 11 years old. And my daughter respects me. She listens to me. I don't have to say things twice to her. I say something once, and she does it. So, but what I've learned from this podcast is women don't really respect men. You don't respect what a man has to say. But not only just respect, you can't digest what a man has to say. The reason why you can't digest what a man has to say is because you don't really know how to interpret a man's love. Like when I'm speaking from, like, everything I've said on this podcast thus far was genuine. It was from the heart. It wasn't attacking. It was trying to come from a perspective where, all right, let me say something where it's so they could understand my perspective instead of just, spilling out some nonsense, right? So what I've learned from interviewing over 200 women is that you don't really know how to experience and digest a father's love. It's just the facts. And God's love comes through the Father. So since you don't really know how to experience and digest the Father's love, that means that you don't really know how to experience and take God's love, because that's where the love trickles down from, right? And not only that, but like, think about the Father's love. The Father's love is much differently than the mother's love.
You got to lead by example
The mother's
for us
love,
to respect you.
well, true, but the mother's love is facts. You lead by example. But the mother's
gain that
love is
respect.
more of a coddle love. You fall down, you get back up. Oh, baby, it's okay. You fall down, you get back up. Oh, baby, it's okay. To the point when you falling down so much, the father's like, you stop falling.
Right.
What are you doing? But the father would tell you that the first time.
Right.
Why are you tripping and falling? Get up. You better than that.
My
You're not
dad did that to
clumsy.
me before.
So, but this is what I'm saying.
Get
But-
up.
He said, "Why are you crying?" I'm like,
Ladies, but this is what I'm saying. The Father's love is a disciplinarian
Yes.
love. God's love is
Disciplinary.
Think about it.
Yes.
God wants you to repent before you go to heaven. That means that
I love the
tell me what you
spiritual
did wrong
Every
and
day.
repent your sins,
Right.
and then you'll get to the promised land. But if you don't repent, forget you.
You're not going
and
here.
that's that Father's love. If you're not changing your behaviors, then hey, get out of here. Pish be gone. So, and that's the thing. So it seems harsh, like how I'm speaking and what I'm saying, but it isn't harsh. It's coming from a genuine place. Does that
You
make
listen
sense?
to this every day.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're.
Go ahead.
I don't want no
Every
broke
day.
ass, bum ass, misled ass motherfucker telling me how to get money, how to get my shit together, and where to go. I ain't about to let you lead me into the fire.
Fair enough.
I don't respect men.
"Yeah."
And I'm gonna tell you why, and I will say that. And I hate myself for that shit, because I have not had a man that I felt acted in a respectable manner.
Quick thing,
around
Vicky.
me.
Just move them.
How do I keep doing this, man?
Nah. You see this part,
Closer to you.
speak in that part. Yeah.
So I don't respect men because I haven't had what I feel is a respectable example of a man. And if I have, it's like very few that I can't even think off the top of my head. Or at some point, they did some shit where I was like, damn, I thought you was...
Did you have a father that you respected?
I didn't disrespect my father. He wasn't around.
Okay, so that's the thing. So stop it there, right?
Right. That's
so
exactly
you,
the source.
You didn't even have the prime example of what you needed to carry your love for men, you know, and your, later ages. So
let's
you
go
didn't have
back to God.
Well, let me make it concise for you. You was raised without a father. You had a father, but he didn't raise you. So your father wasn't there to instill certain traits in you, so you will accept a man's love. That's what I'm saying. So that's why you're saying that you don't know how to. That's why you just said that. Oh well, what did you said? You hate men?
I know that too. She said she doesn't know what I said. That's not what I said. But yes, I hate them
so
too.
this is what I'm saying. You just said that you don't. That's the reason why you said that you don't respect men is because you was raised without a father. So now you're going through life and you don't know how
Which
to
is a
experience
lot of women, though.
other men's love.
That's a lot of women, though, to be honest.
I want to go back to what you were saying about God. My spirit, right? Because I do love God and I do respect God because I feel like God is in me, right? So when I feel like something ain't right, that's not mad spiritual. Sorry, don't look at me like that. Like I meant it like in a sense
I'm
of
sorry,
like
you're like God's in me.
You know what I mean? Like what he said about God, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like God gives us like the spirit, right? So we know when something is right and when something is wrong.
I feel all women have that, though, to be honest.
It's intuition. Yeah, it's intuition.
So with
Men
or
have
without a
intuition
father,
too.
I know
my God,
when
yes.
something was wrong and when something was right. So I didn't need a father to tell me wrong from right. I knew what was up.
No.
Fathers are
Actually,
She's
I would
coming
like
more
to
from like a
speak on that.
guidance perspective, not so much of intuition.
Definitely,
Right.
I could absolutely 100% say that I lack guidance. I was in a single mother home. All she did was work and provide. And even then, back then, even still, like they try to instill that in us. You're a good mom if you provide and you protect. And that men were supposed to do
God
that. Right?
gives us the ability to have discernment.
Right.
Just because he gives us that ability doesn't mean that people are able to use what he was given to them.
Right.
So I can already tell you that discernment is knowing what's right from wrong and making good decisions that can better your life. So just going from what you said, the reason why I could tell you don't have discernment when you had a relationship, it was failed, you broke up.
I had it. I ain't use it. I ignored that motherfucker.
You ignored it? Okay, whatever it was. But what I'm saying is that
I was like,
you don't have the discernment to make better choices and good choices in your life. But that's because you didn't have a father to give you that guidance to instill that discernment in you.
Correct.
That's why you said that you disrespect. You don't have no respect for any men.
This is for the men in the comments, right? They'll hear me say what I'm saying, and they'll go on there like, "Oh yeah, she's not wifey material. She's not this. She's not that. She's not valuable
material
because I made bad decisions. So that doesn't make her a wife."
Yeah, go ahead, Venus.
But this is where she comes into place and says, baby, you just got out of the relationship. You need time to heal.
It's not about my relationship. This is in general.
I know that, but coming from, I don't think it's only me that feels this way. I think you really need some time alone.
Me healing is
heal,
what,
baby,
is what
because
allowed me to. I don't want to be in a relationship. My goal is not to catch
so
right
Vicky,
now.
let her finish her point. Go ahead, Venus.
I'm just saying, you just need that time. Whether it's with you and God, whether it's you alone, whether it's you with a friend, you need that time to just heal.
Time to do what exactly?
And not have so much
learn what you like.
But I'm not talking about that right now. I'm not talking about me.
Vicky, let them speak. You're going to get your chance. I think go ahead, Venus, and then you go next.
But that's just how I feel because I was in your place. I was married at 19. I had my kid. My kid is 15 years old right now, right? But I was raised in a household where all I knew was love. My parents were in love with each other. My father never raised his voice, right? So my father did show me what love was. My parents never fought. Of course they fought, but never in front of me, my sister or brother, right? But that doesn't give me the right, or it didn't teach me like there's love not out there, right? Of course, I've had 2 failed marriages, but it still shows me like, you know what, it's there because my father showed me that.
So you're talking about healing.
But hold on. But I took that time when I felt like what the hell is happening to me, because this is not what I was raised with, right? This is not the life. This is not you know, what my father did with my mom, right? So I took that time and I kind of like took a step back and kind of took that time by myself and kind of healed and said that there is something out there. Not all men are the same. Not all females are the same.
Right.
So you going at men and going at men and going at men, it's not going to get you anywhere. Or even if it doesn't, right? It's just, like she said, you just got out of a relationship. You need time to heal.
So there was no point where I said that I didn't need that time.
Yeah, Vicky. So let me ask you ladies a question, because everyone is talking about healing, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Healing and stuff like that. Well, no. It's actually a good thing to talk about, right? So what process, because I know exactly what healing is, but I want to see where y'all mental mind frame is on how to actually heal yourself. Because men and women, it's the same thing. Human beings is actually very simple. But who wants to go first? What's the process of how you heal yourself?
I'll go first.
Sure.
I mean, I was a mess. So healing for me, I feel like I had to first figure out what I wanted, right? So what I didn't want was a relationship right away. So then I took the time to I went to the gym. I started spending time with my kids a lot more, figuring out the things that maybe I possibly did wrong or could have been better at, but you don't learn those things overnight. It takes time. And then you start to see the things that you're attracted to or you work towards or whatever is usually a reflection of yourself. So I started to realize depending on who I was around or what I invested time in, right? It's what made me either better or worse.
Right.
So healing for me anyways was just figuring out what made me happy, what made me motivated, what made me want to wake up in the morning and do things, you know what I mean? But the gym was my biggest healing phase for me. I went in there, I was stressed out and I was I'm gonna get better. And when I started to see myself, when I looked better, I felt better. And then I motivated to be all right, my kids, we're gonna go on a trip. Where we going? Where we going? I don't need a man to do it. I do it myself. You know what I mean? And I got better in my career too. Yeah. Everything just worked out for me better. And but it took me to focus on me.
Yeah.
I didn't worry about man.
Who else want to give some input on healing? How would they, go through the healing process?
I want to hear yours.
We
Gina.
just spoke about this.
Who?
Oh, I want to hear yours too. Go ahead.
Venus.
With me, it's basically the same. Spending time alone, figuring out what is it that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would just kind of reflect on what is it that I did wrong. It's not so much of, a man doing wrong. It's not always about that, right? And I did reflect. Do I still go about it? Of course. I mean, I'm still healing, still going through it. But just spending time alone, honestly, and your surroundings and your friends and who you surround yourself with is very important to me, because I just feel friends can motivate you in the best way, and they can uplift you and be like, girl, let's get it, let's go to the gym, let's do better, let's start a business, let's become a better mom, become a better, all of that. So I think it's who you surround yourself with, how much time you spend alone, and how much you really, really take that in and move forward with it.
Okay. Cool. What about who wants to go next? Healing.
Was saying something.
No, I was saying that you were just talking about the topic of healing, and I wasn't talking to you.
On it.
And
she's about to let you know how to heal, girl.
Let me get that.
Right. And Khalil, the question that her nephew had asked was, well, how did you heal? And me, I've been in a dark space. I had anxiety. I literally landed myself in the hospital, for my toes going numb, anxiety really bad. And I was living by myself in Cali. And I've always been to church throughout my life, but I just felt like I never had a personal relationship with God. I felt like I would say, and I don't want to get wrong by this, but an atheist really in my mind, because I knew there was a God. I just didn't believe in God. And then when I was by myself and I had no one around me, he really showed himself to me, and he really brought me through that process of healing. And I started reading my Bible, and I started spending time with him. And I felt and then I started doing the gym. Then I started going outside. Then I started taking walks. Then I started spending more time with my friends. But my healing came from him. It was not me. I would never take that because he brought me through so much to the point where like I thought I was gonna die, and I'm like, no, he's like, I got you. Have faith. I got you. And he showed me that. He proved it to me, and I just continue to walk with him. And I feel like my healing came from that.
Yes, sis.
Yeah.
That's deep.
So I want to say, right, because like you guys hear me say that I left my relationship 2 weeks ago, right?
Wait, one thing before you go, Vicky. Are you going to give an input on the healing?
Yes.
'Cause I want to do the healing thing.
I feel like I started healing
Yeah.
before me saying I'm not doing this anymore was part of my healing.
Okay,
Like-
so we talking about the steps of what it, like, how did you,
One of
what's
those
the
things was
process?
praying.
Okay.
I started feeling like I started getting a closer relationship to God, and I started praying with intention for the right things. I would be, oh God, make it work, like make it so that if this is wrong, you know, like help him grow, help him mature, help him be the man that I need. All that, and I kept getting like not zero resolve.
He's telling you no.
That's not healing for
He's telling
you.
you no.
Got you.
So I
So
gotta
we're
get
going to
rid
move
of
it. Deasia, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said you want to put in, right? Healing process.
Yeah. So she said purpose, a different word that I would have said foundation. So when you're looking for healing, you should search for what is your foundation. And like Anae just said, for me personally, it's God. So it doesn't necessarily have to be I'm Christian, I'm Catholic,
Right.
I'm Muslim. You just need a foundation. And so, and just to touch on that too, that's important for parents. That's why it's important for parents and grandparents to pray over your children, because for
My
me,
grandma does.
right, for me personally, I may have not known things. I feel like I've grown to know things because of people that were praying for me, and that's where my foundation came from. And so that's how I like was able to find, all right, well, I'm supposed to be here or I'm not supposed to be there. And that's where my discernment came in.
Okay.
Because now I'm like, well, I'm supposed to be over here, so I can feel it. Well, that's not good for me, or that person's not good for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So as long as you have a foundation and you know that, and you focus on something that brings you morals and brings you standards, that's what will help you heal. That's what will help you become the best person that you can be, because it's not about comparing yourself to other people. Right. It's about being the best person you can be and putting your best foot forward, no matter what you're doing.
Okay.
Can I add to hers? Sorry.
Let Kim go real quick, because she.
All right. So as I said before, I healed for 4 years. It took me 4 years to actually find myself. Like you had to really find yourself. I was with my family, my friends. You have to really look into yourself.
Who you are. Yeah.
Find yourself. Never compare yourself to nobody else. You are you.
Don't leave.
And with that, it takes a while. So when he said something about like the attention of guys, when they DM you, girl, you don't even want to.
That's nothing.
You don't even want to. You don't want nothing in your way. Like you really don't want nothing in your way.
Yeah. Let's bring it up back in real quick. I'll let y'all get that out. I want the ladies to have an audience. I did this. I got a lot of men watching this, so they're like, "Cooley, come on, just cut this out." You know what I mean?
They want you to
bash
y'all
us.
disrespect.
Go ahead, Cooley.
No, because men know. So, so this is the reason why you need a father, because all of y'all answers, y'all had some good. Jim, that was in there. You said certain things that was in there as well, as far as I think you said Jim as well.
I wanted to say
spending
something.
time with your kids, that was one. So all y'all ladies said certain things, but it wasn't direct. If everything was like indecisive, it was like, yeah, maybe a little bit of this. Is like kind of asking a woman what they want to eat. Well, maybe I want to eat this, maybe I want to eat that, maybe I'll put a little bit of this in there. So fathers and men are just naturally decisive. So it's very simple. You heal from discipline. Discipline creates healing. The reason why discipline creates healing, also when you have discipline, it creates discernment, which then it heals everything all in one. So think about when you have a craving to eat some chocolate, and you like, you know what? I ain't gonna eat that chocolate cake today. And you actually don't eat it. How do you feel after you like have that discipline? You feel good. Feel great. Think about when you go to the gym.
Yep.
And when you go to the gym and it's like you really didn't want to go, but you win anyway and you got that workout in. How do you feel afterwards? You feel great.
Good.
So that's the healing process. Every time you discipline your actions, right? It makes you feel good, and that is the healing process. So all of this other stuff you ladies are talking about, it's like floating in the air stuff.
I like discipline.
It's nothing is direct. It's like it's not.
That's why we
it's kind of all over the place.
Decide not to repeat the toxic behavior. Decide not to ignore the red flags.
Yeah,
I love men. I love my dad. Honestly speaking, though, right?
Love men.
Let's say you're going through this healing process, right? And a guy comes along and he slides in your DM, and he's a good potential. It helps you through the healing process. We all know that.
No.
We need a man.
You know what I think though? One thing though, I love men, but I love my friends that are men because they tell you exactly what you need to hear, even when you don't want to hear it.
So I get what you're saying, Venus. But yeah, you're right. If you meet the right guy and you're not using him for attention, you actually it's genuine. You actually talking to him because you like him. He's talking to you because he likes you, and then you create something good out of that, and something good comes from it. Then that's when you heal. But if you're opening up the door for opportunity for him to smash you and leave you, that doesn't create any healing. That's just
more trauma. I agree.
More trauma
Way
and more
more
damage.
trauma. I
agree. So that's why you have to. So this is what I'm saying. You need a man,
and you need discipline. You need to be able to say no.
Vicky, I know
how this goes.
You cut me off. Let me just finish it. I've been letting y'all talk. Let me get a little bit out. So what I'm saying is you need a man in your life because that man creates guidance and it gives you direction because y'all all speaking, but I told you I knew that it's one word: discipline throughout all aspects of your life. It literally creates healing. You would feel better about yourself. Just think about the smallest little things that you're disciplined on. Even maybe when it's coming to your kids, when your kid gets a little mad, instead of lashing out on your kid, you're gonna be a little bit more disciplined and you're gonna give them 3 tries. So you're going to tell Timmy 1 time. Okay, if Timmy don't get it, 2 times, 3 times. But then you're going to be disciplined to stick to what you're actually going to do. You get what I'm saying? But let's get on to some fun stuff.
That's why men are important.
Been talking.
Yeah.
This is your first podcast. I think that was really emotional. This was more emotional than anything I think.
He needed this.
He did.
Because
he did.
He was
the women. They're scared. They think that you're being aggressive and disrespecting and degrading. I don't think that's why I asked what your intentions were because I don't think those are your intentions.
They were on defense.
So let me answer your question because you did have a question that I wanted to answer. You said. You wrote it down. What was it?
Your intention and your goal with this
for the podcast.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
okay.
Nice.
Good. So the intentions and goal for creating the podcast was, very simple. As you ladies all know, you heard of the Kevin Samuels, right?
I hate him. No, I'm just kidding.
You could hate Kevin Samuels, but so what I'm saying is that there's a void going on that's in the market, right? And the reason why I created this podcast because I'm filling that void that most men feel, right? Most men, 1 in 3 men between the ages of 18 and 30 is either a virgin or celibate or haven't had sex in a year. So there's a lot of men that aren't getting any play with women, and that's what men desire. That's the first thing we look for is courting a woman and sex and dating a woman and stuff like that. So the dating market is all skewed right now. It's all messed up. So the reason why I created this podcast, one is called No Fugazee. I wasn't ever going to do a dating thing. I think I was maybe going to talk politics and maybe talk, some more black culture stuff and getting black men and black women out of the victim mindset more. I'm going to lean more into that as well. But the reason why I created the dating and relationship part of the podcast is really to talk about intersexual dynamics between men and women and really paint the full picture that men and women aren't the same. We're very different, meaning that our attraction triggers is different. Attraction isn't symmetrical. So what you're attracted to in a man, he's not attracted to them same traits back into you. You could be a boss babe, have the best job, have a great career. It's like, if you don't got the looks, if you have a bad attitude,
you're done.
We're going to go for the younger, tighter, hotter, and the one that is more coachable, the one that can get on our program. And it's not because we're want to manipulate a woman that's younger. It's just because that's what we're naturally attracted to. Just like you're naturally attracted to someone that's taller. Cooley. You're naturally attracted to a man that has money, a man that has muscles. You're attracted to certain things, and we're attracted to certain things. So I created that podcast for the dating and relationship part of the podcast for that. I already have bread. This wasn't for to go viral and to make money.
Right.
I'm financially fine. So that's what it was for.
You know damn well that's part of the goal. Stop playing, because that's what I'll be doing podcasts.
Well,
I'm making my money.
It makes money, but
just kidding.
Exactly.
Does that answer your question though?
Yeah. Because you know why I asked that? Because I already knew that. But I feel like people don't see that. They don't get that. They think that you're trying to degrade and push an agenda, and I don't think that that's what it is.
No,
I think it's coming from a good place. I think that you want people to get what they want from each other, but you want people to also know
you have to take accountability.
What people are looking for. So
the
like to
steps
work
it
on
takes
themselves.
to get actually
Right?
what
He
you
just
want.
said what's
work
going
on
to happen
themselves.
in a couple years with relationships. What was it that you said? The statistic?
It wasn't a
What?
statistic. It was
Women
more
will
like
be
a study.
single? A study?
And a study's currently being done right now on it, and it's pretty much showing that in about 10 to 15 years is going to be a lot of single moms with cats and dogs in their 40s.
That's why all you women
focusing
out here
on their
talking about you a
careers and not
feminist.
prioritizing any family or any man.
Feminism
How do you
is
feel
not
about that?
being
What
better
is
than men.
the
About equality.
statistic for? Damn, I can't
That's bullshit.
men for men.
Ooh, that's a good question.
What is the statistic for men though? That's what I want to know.
It's still going out. It's statistics for guys as well. So think about it. 30% of men between the ages of 18 or 30 is either a virgin or celibate. That's going to, if things keep going how it's going, that's
gonna
going to
get bigger.
continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
100%.
So that means that women are truly only, I mean, think about it. Y'all probably don't know this, but since the beginning of the time, 80% of women procreated, but only 40% of men procreated. So that means that women, since the beginning of time, was always hypergamous, meaning that they chose either a man on their level or preferably above them.
Above them,
So women only date up, and men will date down, up. We don't really care. Let's get to the question on the panel so we can have some fun and get engaged with some more topics instead of speaking about what we feel. Let's kind of speak about more of what we think. So starting with you. Sorry, name. Anae?
I love Anae.
I'm horrible with names.
Anae.
Starting with Anae.
Very level-headed.
So Anae, and ladies, let's try to keep it one mic at a time now, since we're gonna get into the question section. So everyone, boom, boom, boom. Anae, does a promiscuous woman with a high body count, deserve a good man?
Yes.
Why?
Why not?
Well, explain why.
Oh my God.
If that woman changes and changes her mindset and realizes that she doesn't need to just continue to have sex, sure, and she wants something different, why shouldn't she have that?
Okay. And Deasia. So I'll repeat the question. Does a promiscuous woman with a high body count deserve a good man?
This is a hard question.
Is she still promiscuous?
Right, like is she being
That's not the question. The question is, does a promiscuous woman with a high body count deserve a good man? Yes or no, and or why?
Okay, so I'll just be direct since that's what you want and it's your show.
I mean, you could answer how you want to answer.
I will say no. I will only say no because I know that everything is a competition almost. Like life is a competition. And like, for instance, me, I wouldn't say I've had a man to tell me like step from step what to do, but I have fear instilled in me. So like my brother, he's 3 years younger than me, but my brother tells me like, don't talk to this person or whatever the case may be. I won't talk to them because my brother told me to. So I'm on a different side. So I would say like, no, because I worked for this. Like, it's women out here that don't have a high body count and that don't have like, well, they do have things that those types of men are looking for. So it's like, why would you choose that one when you could have somebody with a clean record?
Okay.
That's what I would say, but that's just me.
Smart answer. Moving right along. Vicky.
I don't know.
So,
Vicky, just speak to
I'm
the
going
mic
to
more.
talk about something that might be like triggering in a different way.
Well, Vicky, just answer the question.
Does
a promiscuous woman with a high body count deserve a good man? Yes or no?
If she is a good woman, yes.
Okay.
Just because you have a high body count doesn't make you a bad woman. It doesn't make you a bad woman.
I agree. But she said promiscuous, so she's still promiscuous.
She might have things to teach us that's not promiscuous.
People are promiscuous for various reasons. If you're on this is what I do. I'm gonna sleep with whoever I want to.
Okay. So your thought process is a promiscuous woman can still be a good woman.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Can a man that, is a full bum and chooses to live with his mom, is that a good man for any woman?
Hell no.
Hell no.
So, oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Answer the question.
I'm
Yes or
gonna answer it for you.
Just answer the question. Yes or no?
She said, hell no.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
So
if he chooses to be a bum, no. If he's in
no. So this is what I'm saying. Like
Vicky,
it's choice.
Come on, girl.
Vicky.
Icky Vicky.
I'm thinking about my experiences, right? I'm thinking about my experiences. If you're choosing to live at home with your mom and you're not choosing to be a better, a more productive adult, then no, you don't. You're
that
not a
guy
good
has no ambition. Like that's what I'm saying.
No,
He has
you're not a good man.
ambition,
You're not.
Right? So think about that, right? So you don't think that the man that's a bum that's living at home with his mom is a good man to a woman. So a woman, and the reason why. Let's think about it logically, right? The reason why that man isn't a good man for any woman is because that man has no future, and women look for a man that has a future, someone that they could grow old with, and that man can protect and provide for them, right? So guess what? A man looks for a woman that doesn't have a past. So the promiscuous woman that has a high body count. Well, does she deserve it?
You're giving the answer. Come on, we know answer the question.
You can't compare.
I think it's so much different.
That's wild different.
My response was when you choose. If you're just like, I'm choosing to sleep with whoever I want because that's what I want to do, then it's like, no, bitch, you don't deserve a good man because you're not ready to be a good woman
but the
in that
value's
sense.
the same, really, because a man values something different than a woman is going to value something.
There you go. Ooh. So, and Venus, that's what I was saying. Remember, I answered your question, Vicky, why I do the podcast. I do the podcast literally for this reason. See how we have these disagreements?
Right.
So attraction isn't symmetrical. What women value in men is much different from what men value in women. Mm-hmm. So women look for a man that has a future, and a man looks for a woman that doesn't have a past so he can provide a future for that woman. Why would he want a woman that has a bad past? Well, I'm going up and I have a future as a man. Right. I'm not going to take this woman that has a bad past to my future so she can damage my future. You get what I'm saying? We want a woman that's like, think about it. All men, we value purity. You get what I'm saying? So a promiscuous woman
you're not going to add
pure.
weight to your shoulders.
But what happens to the men who has a past damage too? Because obviously these women were with men who obviously are not together with anymore. So clearly they're damaged too. They might have kids, grandkids, whatever. Are you trying to say like they want a woman who is spotless as well when they're not spotless?
So it's totally different. Women don't value inexperience in a man. Women value experience.
I'd rather have an experienced man. I agree.
So the reason why you ladies value experience in a man, because think about it, you want him to protect and provide. Who's going to be who's going to have the highest probability of protecting and providing you? So it's two guys.
Person.
Guy A, he lived his life and had a fairly soft life. He didn't go to the army. He never really got into a fight. He had his brothers to back him up. And he had, kind of lived in a White House with a picket fence and really didn't go through any adversities, right? Well, when a situation arises when you're with guy A, he's going to be freaking out and maybe looking for you for some help. But guy B, the guy that went through adversities but overcame it, he's more capable of handling your problems and the world problems. And guess what? It's just sexier. Experience is sexier on a man because how can a man learn that stroke or learn that tongue move to do on you ladies that you all enjoy? Well, that takes practice. That takes practice.
Can I say something?
you guys
say,
know my own experience?
like,
I'm a virgin. Made some money, now became successful.
I
and
picked
like,
my husband.
Yeah, so it goes a little bit more deeper than that. So this is what I'm gonna say, and I said it on a podcast before. Maybe it'll make sense to y'all. So trauma hurts women. Trauma builds men. When a man goes through trauma and overcomes it, it makes him a more masculine male, right? When a woman goes through trauma and she overcomes it, she can overcome it, but it makes her a masculine woman. But guess what?
That is true.
Women
That's
are
true.
attracted.
Absolutely.
Women are attracted to masculine men, but men aren't attracted to masculine women. So this is what I'm saying. Attraction isn't symmetrical. I have a daughter and I have a son, and I'm raising them totally different. The way I'm gonna raise my daughter, I'm gonna coddle her, so she don't have to go through adversities and experience the hardships of the world. The way I raise my son is, no, little nigga, you gotta get out the mud.
Right.
You're not gonna, experience all the benefits that my daughter experienced. So let's move it right along to the question. Do you think a promiscuous woman with a high body count deserves a good man?
Penis.
This is a hard one. I would say yes.
Okay, why?
Because females are so in tune with their emotions. So if a good man comes along, there's a possibility. I mean, there is a high chance that the woman does change.
Yep.
You know,
Because we
I just
can do
think
that.
it's all with experiences and all of that. And I think like if a man really steps up and gives that woman the security, consistency, support, whatever it is, I think that woman, yeah.
I got a question for you. Is that man even good if he chooses the woman with the high body count?
No.
We all do it. I feel like us as women.
Vicky, let her answer. I'm sorry.
So is that man even good?
He's not going to choose.
That's probably
It
the
all
man that's looking to
depends. I
manipulate.
mean, you know, maybe not.
So I'll answer it for you because I'm a man. A man that would choose a woman with a promiscuous past or with a high body count, normally women with high body counts or that's promiscuous, they give off, it's like this, right? Our behaviors really don't change. When we do things in one way, we kind of do them in a multitude of other ways as well.
Right.
So a good man is able to see a promiscuous woman. We may not know the exact number of the body count, but we know she maybe was in them streets, right? So the good men have the ability to sort that out in a woman. And the reason why they have that ability is because, I mean, they have experience with a lot of women, right? So the man that isn't good with women, he would choose anything that he could get.
Right.
That's usually the low value man. They'll choose a woman that's going to smack him in Walmart, talk back to him, just treat him very bad and disrespect him. Those men got no backbone. Those men can't lead women. You get what I'm saying? So usually, not even usually, I would say all the time, the man that chooses the woman that is promiscuous with a high body count, those men are low value men themselves, and not meaning that low value in financials, because they could still, how many guys that we know that's, rich, but they simping over some girls, or they're, paying for hookers. It's different values.
Or rich and
There's
living at
different
home with their
levels
mom.
to a high value man. So I mean a high value man physically, financially, mentally, and spiritually. That's what I mean, right? And those men, they're not choosing no promiscuous woman because they have discernment, so they know what to look for, and they're not going to dismiss those red flags. And the reason why they're not going to dismiss those red flags is because they're not like so pressed for some vagina. The low value dudes, they dismiss red flags because they're so pressed for vagina. They're kind of like, well, she likes me, well, I'll take it. I don't really care if she has a high body count. But the dudes that can get a multiple women, they're like, yeah, I'll smash you, but that's about it. And I'll probably wipe this other chick up.
Right.
So yeah, what I'm saying is that even a woman that gets chosen, but she may think he's a good man, no, he's lacking usually in leadership, discernment, and a whole bunch of other future qualities.
I also feel like it has a lot to do with age. A man's age and a female's age and growing up.
Age plays a huge factor
Very.
in how we see the world. Because normally, a man, he doesn't become, a man doesn't hit his peak until he's around 35 or 40.
42.
Yeah, and a woman, she normally hits her peak, meaning that in a man's eyes, not in the world's eyes, but in a man's eyes between the ages of like 18 to 24.
Correct.
Because that's just what men are mostly attracted to. It doesn't mean that you can't, push that clock back. There's definitely exceptions to the rule. I know many women that, push the clock back for sure. But generally speaking, that's that age range. Yeah, moving right along. Let's go to, you answered it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, look, got these two. So does Azaria, does a woman with a high body count deserve a good man?
Why we all did the sigh. Everybody was like,
I got this friend, or I got this.
Okay, so I'm be honest. Like, I have coworkers. I work with a lot of women. Some of them are very promiscuous. So let's just be honest. Promiscuous women don't want to be really wifed up most times. They just don't. They adore being taken care of in any way they can, and they like the lifestyle. So, like, do they deserve to be wifed? I mean, no.
Okay. I kind of disagree with that. One of the parts, though, I do think that even a promiscuous woman still wants, she like a stripper doesn't want to be on a pole.
I agree.
She wants to get off the pole.
Right.
Or a girl that's on OnlyFans, she still like, I know I'm selling my butt for $10.99 or $5.99.
But I want a man.
But, if I had this nigga that I really didn't have to be showing my butt to, then...
I wouldn't be sure.
But in majority of the times, though, like I said, I work with a lot of women. They do. They try to settle down, and then they go right back to their ways.
Yeah. So it's for this reason. You're right. I agree with that part. Women do go back to their ways, but it's because men, right? So why do you think only 40% of men since the beginning of the time procreated? Is because women choose, only high quality men. So if women had the choice, the problem is that it's hard to find all those good traits, a man that checks off all your boxes. It's hard to find one man that checks off all your boxes. So you find it's like, oh, he checks off 5. This guy checks off 2. He checks off 1, but it's a good one. He eat the coochie good. So you keep like all 3 of them around. You get what I'm saying? So, but if you could find one guy that checks off all the boxes, all women want that. They're like, oh yeah, I want that. But it's very hard to find those guys. And the thing is, the reason why it's hard for those promiscuous women to find those guys is they find them, but those dudes just smash. They don't wife them up. They don't give them any time attention. Right. So those dudes, they have discernment. They're like, I dealt with plenty of you before. You get nothing but strong dick and that's it. And then they on to the next.
That's why they go back their way.
So then that's why they're like, dang, I had Kenny that played during the Lakers, and he flew me out. It was a good experience. He took me to Salt Bay restaurant. We was eating good. Nice. And he dicked me down good. I thought I seen a future with him. But then I just, like, after he smashed, he just stopped giving me that attention. So then they go back to their ways. Like, all right, well, let me go back on the pole. Or let me go back on OnlyFans. Right. Let me go back to the streets.
All we care about
they
is
don't have food. The thing is that they don't have the ability to lock down a high-value man. Money. That's the thing. What about you, Kim?
I care about food.
Do you think a woman with a high body count deserves a good man?
I do.
Okay, why?
I do think that because they could just be promiscuous for them. Why they can't just be from that day on promiscuous just for that one person?
Wait, what?
Right, so maybe I didn't understand. So yeah, no.
Okay.
I changed it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, a promiscuous woman doesn't deserve a good man or a high value man. Let's just say that. A woman that's promiscuous is broken. She's broken. Yes. So she's for the street. She's a broken woman. It's that's why she doesn't deserve a good man. You got to try to put the pieces to what was broken back together. That takes a whole lot. No, take a bad man that's broke or someone that's going to treat you wrong because you treated yourself wrong and you're broken into pieces. A good man shouldn't be having that. A good man, like you said, should have a girl that has some sexual temperance. A good man, like you said, should have a girl that, looked at herself as valuable and has chastity and a multitude of other things. But let's bring it back.
I want to talk. I want to talk about something.
Okay, I'm gonna get to you because this is the podcast is ending. So if you have a question for me or anyone on the panel, you could bring up your question now, or you could just give your last thoughts on the podcast and how you liked it.
Come on, Cooley. Why y'all start with me for?
Welcome back, baby.
Question that I wait. What was it? A question that I have, and what else?
Yeah. So if you have a question, you could ask a question. If you don't have the question, then just give your last thoughts on the podcast. How'd you like it?
I love this podcast.
Word. Third time on it.
Yeah, I'm coming back. What are you talking about?
Right. Let's get on to you, Kim. Any last questions? If not, then last thoughts on the podcast.
No questions. I really like this. This is my first time.
Word.
And I actually enjoyed this.
Me too. Word.
I like him.
I would do it again.
I'm just saying.
Say no more. That's dope. Appreciate
Thank you for having
Kim.
me on here.
And you'll come back. Word. I'll definitely have you back on. Let me try to remember your name.
How can you?
It's crazy.
Ane. Do you have any questions? If not, then last thoughts on the podcast and what you
I
like
enjoyed
about it.
this. I wasn't a little like nervous at first,
Yeah.
but I enjoyed it. Me and my sis, we just started a podcast, and we came, so we're like trying different things. That was the first time I'm on someone else's. Has this the first time I'm on somebody else's podcast?
I think so.
No, I've been on another one, but nothing like this. And this was great. Teaching, learning, talking,
because we came here
conversating.
with a learning spirit.
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, so
We
this was very
prayed
interesting.
before we got here.
Right.
Yeah,
I prayed. Okay.
definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed you ladies. You guys were all awesome, and you too, Cooley, definitely awesome.
Thank you.
Love this. I can tell like your mindset, like it.
Appreciate that. I
Yeah.
appreciate the compliment. Really
Definitely.
do. Deasia. Do you have any questions? If not, then last thoughts on the podcast.
I don't have any questions. So same. I like everybody that's here. I feel like everybody brought a different element, and that was really good. The girls, we all leveled out, and I love that.
Yeah.
I like that even though you're a man, I feel like, and this is what we need, because a lot of men, they like to perform as a divider between women. You really brought us together. I can honestly say that when people see you putting your clips up for clicks and stuff, they need to watch the entire show so that they could really dive into the content of the show and what you're trying to do. And I support you, Cooley.
Your message,
yes. Thank you.
Your
Thanks for having
changed.
us here. You came in here defensive.
Oh, I was on the.
Yes, very.
I was braids. He has a beard.
Our male friend, like not even friends, our family, because it really wasn't like. But like my kid's dad spoke to us this morning about this.
Yes.
Your father spoke to us about this.
Yes.
My cousin did.
Yes.
And we asked all their perspectives of all men, and
Yeah.
they
They
gave us
said
great
he's
perspectives.
bashing women because they only saw the snippets.
Yeah.
I made that point.
And I feel like
They
the
gave them
snippets.
the honest truth, and
Yeah.
we
They
saw
said
it.
they basically said we're signing up to be embarrassed.
Yes,
to be
yes.
degraded.
Yeah. I seen some people in your comments.
Yeah,
especially
and I was
saying
like,
that.
bro, what are you talking about? Like, are you even watching? Do you understand marketing? Because not for nothing, at the end of the day, it's
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
What you want to get your point across.
Exactly. Genius.
Yeah. So you make it clickbait. You make it clickbait.
Yes.
Oh, what are they talking about?
Right.
And then
I don't make my clips. Is this
whoever does it does a good
I haven't
job.
seen that.
Very good
Tell
job.
them to clip this in. Follow Merlot Network. That's me and my sis.
Oh, you have. You said you're doing a podcast. I could hook you up with some people that do clips. I got you. If you really want.
I love it.
That's awesome.
That's love.
Yeah, I got you.
That's a grown.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Grown
It's
man.
giving tall. It's giving tall, sis.
Yeah,
That's
funny. That's funny. Nah, but thank you for the kind words, Deja. Would you come back?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Word. Would you come back on the podcast?
Absolutely.
Okay, word. We'll have you back. And
Thank
Venus, last thoughts on the podcast?
I mean, I appreciated all of the females. We got along great. I think it was, we touched up on a lot.
You want to come back?
Sure.
Hey, thank you, ladies. I appreciate y'all for coming
Thank you
out,
for having us.
driving
Thank you.
this distance
Thank you so
to,
much.
an hour and a half. Some of you ladies drove to come and kick it with me on the podcast. I appreciate that. But this podcast was very no Fugazee, and thanks for tuning in. We out. Peace.
We out.